taste of it. And then my first year in college, which usually doesn't happen because you have to wait till junior or senior year, but I was very persistent in looking for an internship.
Yes.
I got a call back from every single station, ABC, NBC, and CBS.
Wow.
Because I had the tapes from junior high.
You had
and they didn't know.
long resume.
They did. I actually got a job offer off of a high school tape.
Wow.
They didn't know how old I was.
Wow.
So they brought me in to start in sports. I was working for the George Michael Sports Machine, which is a very popular show in Washington, D.C. And I got lucky, too, because I didn't sit there answering the phones. When you show that initiative, they gave me, I finished all the work they had for the summer in 3 weeks.
Wow.
So they said, take her out. Take her to Redskins training camp. Take her to go do interviews. So I was literally at Redskins training camp with like Charles Mann and Art Monk and going to the locker room.
Oh God.
And everything. So that's really how the beginning of professional media started. And then they moved me into the newsroom, and every semester I tried to look for some sort of news-oriented job. I worked at Fox, WTTG. By the time I left, I also worked at Interactive Television Association, which was social media before social media was even here.
Right, okay.
It was the beginning of the information superhighway. So I had a lot of previous knowledge about what was going to happen in business. And then I got it was like a postgraduate, so you graduate, you're actually getting paid. Special, and I didn't think I was going to get it. It's a National Radio Television Correspondents Association. You know, the one where you see the big dinner with the president, or you see the big dinner with Congress. So I got selected to cover the House and Senate radio, TV, press gallery. So you're a liaison between all the congressmen and every single media outlet.
Got it. Okay.
And you're actually kind of hired with the government and the media because they give that balance of news. I mean, we're talking about fake news now.
Yeah.
It's I started looking at the time that I spent on the Hill, and I'm just flabbergasted at what's going on.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, so that was in Washington. Then from Washington, I got a job at MSNBC, which was networking in that environment because they have suites when you go to those events. And then from there, I ended up doing a stint. HBO, I was up here. MSNBC is located in Secaucus, New Jersey. And then HBO, I kind of went into the entertainment. Ended up in sports.
Just couldn't stay away from the sports.
Yeah, they always put me in sports. I don't know what that is about that. So I ended up at entertainment. I bounced back to Fox News during Fox News Channel.
Okay.
These are networks, which is different than the local affiliates.
Okay.
And the one, Roger Ailes, was one of my
bosses.
So, so that was it. So why do I stay in it? I've always loved media, obviously, since the broadcasting teacher discovered me. And I'm a media hound. Like, all I do on Facebook, everybody, oh, you're a model, you must have all these pictures. And it's like, well, actually, I'm looking at Donald Trump and what's going on with the election.
Right. I mean, that, like,
what are you talking about?
And, you know, you share that story in your journey, and it's amazing that in middle school or junior high school, probably, right, that the teacher was the one who said, you know what, let's try to, you know, get something going here. And then, and it's really taken you to so many different places. So that's so
Mr.
powerful. That's a powerful story, you know, and as an educator, I love to hear stories like that because you never know. You never know that encouragement and how far it's going to go. So how can people listen to or watch your shows? I know you're the executive producer and all of that. So how can people watch your show?
America's Enterprise is in a couple of different formats. We have it in New York, MNN's broadcast. It's in TV, cable, and streaming. And it gets distributed in New York. It also gets distributed in Philadelphia, and we're looking at some other locations. So that gives you the subscribers of about 15 million people.
Right.
A blog talk radio enterprise, which is a totally different name, is and everyone in internet world is usually familiar with blog talk radio.
Yes.
That is the radio version. And internet radio version, and that has about 8-9 million subscribers, which combines the two. So you can see both of them again on my site, i-am-erica.com. If you're an entrepreneur or you're in business, you can come on the show or apply to be on the show. And we're also, I have to talk about this because we're going to be here in New York, February 15th.
February 15th.
Sports. I'm going to be doing live hosting with the Wall Street Project. And it's going to be the American Enterprise, so it will be the television version.
Okay.
And I was invited, so we will do the segments on sports and hopefully as many sections as we can live.
And what is that about? What is that, you said, what is that about? What is that?
The Wall Street Project?
Yeah.
It's with Rainbow Push Coalition.
Okay.
And they look at all the different industries and talk about Wall Street's involvement. So for sports in particular, they talk about athletes after the game. What do you do after the game?
Right.
Because you hear so many stories. I had met Boston basketball player who went bankrupt.
Right.
You know, so what do they do? A lot of times, especially the earlier players, they didn't even finish college. So they don't even have that skill set to restart. And they've been relying on agents and business people. So there too, you really need a map for something to go through. I'm also involved with a sports app right now, sports. that is trying to empower athletes and women in business through this app application as well, which I'll launch on the site too.
So you have a lot of different, you have so much going on, a lot of things going on. What would you say to women who are, a lot of times women want to do something. They're really not sure about what they want to do. How do you encourage a woman that wants, or women that want to start their own business, but they just can't find out what it is they want to do? What would you say to them? And how can they go about, starting or making those steps to get to, to be their own boss, so to speak?
Well, I think you have two different things. You have younger women and older women. Younger women, I would say, it's all about getting as many experiences as possible.
Yeah, they seem pretty industrious too.
Before you really define who you are and what you want. You won't know that until you experience a lot of different things. You think you know, but you really don't. So I would say, I always do this list. I was talking to an attorney one time, and he said, you really can't do everything well at the same time. So he was using a 3 to 5 point system. And I kind of adopted that. Okay. Because it's the first 3 things, major things, you should be able to put your energy in. 4 and 5 end up becoming an ongoing thing. So I would say to the younger girls, you do 3 to 5 plans of anything it is. It could be 5 different or 3 different things you want to do. You want to be a plus size model, you want to do television, you want to finish your education. Here are the 3 top steps that I need to do to achieve those goals. And 4 and 5 are on there. And you keep checking those lists every day. Now, if it becomes too complicated, you separate it in the month. We're doing this week, this week, and the next week. And then those experiences, once you start to write down and journal what you're doing, you're going to see a trend, and it's going to move you in certain directions. It's going to give you more networks. It's going to give you more experiences when you're younger. Now, for older women, the first thing you need to do is meditate. just take a break, because it's been a long struggle. And, find that meditation. Is it poetry? Is it actually listening to meditation tapes? Is it dance? Whatever it is that can get your juices flowing, not just mentally, but physically. If it's changing your diet for healthier foods and eating, not so much for weight loss, healthier eating, that gets you to feel good and really get into the essence of your soul. And I would also say, because it's such a stigma with African Americans, for counseling. And if you've lived, I think it was Chris Rock with the joke who said, if you're African American, you have to go to therapy.
It's mandatory.
Take the time to deal with maybe some issues you haven't dealt with. If it was loss of a family member, if it was something that happened when you were growing up, if it's divorce or any of those things, deal with those issues when you're older. Once you start to really get into that and work on yourself, then you can see clearer. And then we start again, 3 to 5 point lists. And you're not going to have as many as the young person. Because you want to take that time to meditate, to drink the water, so on and so forth. So you don't want 50 million things to do until you get the rhythm straight. And also for older women, I would say to get help. you know, because we can crash, and trust me, I've crashed. Right. But you know, make sure that you have support systems
and
in place.
Recognize that. So I want to thank Erica Collins for being here today. It was a pleasure speaking with you, all the things you're doing, and I would encourage people to find you at, if you can just tell everybody your website one more time.
I-am-erica.com. Everything is America, separating the Erica.
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you, and I want everybody to tune in to Conversations with Verdell Jones. The third Thursday of next month, we're going to talk about test prep. We're going to have Tom Ellers here from Method Test Prep, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. Make sure you go to my website, verdelljones.com. You can follow me at DeliTeach, and that's DeliTeach, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, what's the other one? Instagram. So, and also, make sure that you pick up Erica's book, Eric and Ruby's Healthy Juice Stand. And again, I want to thank everybody for watching out there.